It's all about health. It's all about taking care of health. It's all about things that makes you healthy and keeps you in shape. We are here with Dr. Mirza to talk about the pharma industry and the VARIC. And we are here to talk about some of the exciting and interesting things that the pharma sector in Pakistan, which is a very large, very promising sector, faces. Thank you so much for coming here. It's a great pleasure. What, as a company, established business with a couple of hundred products and so many people, few hundred employees, what do you think is the challenge for a company like yourself growing into the national market? Is it the foreign competition? Is it new products? Is it intellectual property, copyrights? Is it the general public perception? I just want to throw these broad topics and then you try to pick.
Well, there are quite a few things which you have asked me in one question, and I think I would require a lot of time if I explain all these things to you. Starting from what you call our competition with the multinational companies. So the basic difference is the multinational companies have got their own brands. They get their products patented, and then they introduce their products on their own prices. I'm not saying that they are doing something wrong, but the countries like Pakistan and other developing countries where people do not have enough money to spend on their health. Like in Pakistan, I think average per person is less than $20 a year, which a family spends on their health. So in a country like this, how would you expect them to buy medicines which are beyond their reach? And if their price is considered in dollars, and when you convert it into Pakistani rupees, it is beyond their reach. So the challenge which we have is to provide medicines to the people of our country at a price which is in their reach and which they can afford.
And I find it, Pakistan, in my trips, Pakistan pharmaceutical at a shockingly low price. And I realize in the West, we all scream about at almost the gouging of the pharmaceutical prices, which are some, like in Canada, they're paid by the government, but they're extraordinarily high, and it's very, very unfair. But Pakistan, of course, has a very special challenge, but then also you have the population factor of a large number of people, massive number of people to do that. Do you think that by having your own patented product being offered at the Pakistani price scale, you have an advantage to the foreign companies where their patented products makes them outside?
Yes. In fact, if you are asking me the technical question, once a product is patented, it is patented for at least 16 to 20 years. Right. Nobody else can make that product without the rights from the original manufacturer. And with the introduction of new laws, it has become even harder. Previously, it used to be the process of manufacturing which was patented. Right. Now, it is the product which is patented. Right. So it has become more difficult for the people to bring something which we call Me Too products. Right. I would like to give you the example of US. And since you have been there many times, as you have told me, you see, even in US, they are importing generic medicines worth $86 billion. whereas their total market ranges $548 billion. So there is also a realization over there that there is a lot of people over there who cannot buy the branded medicines. So they are converting their people and their doctors to prescribe the generics.
Right. But also they are using the generic products and slowly raising the prices.
That's right. That's right. In fact, the problem lies with the medicine originators.
Not only that, first they tried to discredit the generic product. They were unable to do it. Then they said, all right, we'll take the generic product. Now they have got branded generic products.
Being a medical doctor, I understand if I have to prescribe a medicine to a patient, I have got a lot of choices with me. I can prescribe him a medicine worth 10 rupees, and if I feel that he will not be satisfied with that medicine, I can prescribe him a medicine worth 1,000 rupees.
Sure, because they look at price as a measurement of the power of the medicine.
So this is what happens.
Yes.
So it is all, as I was telling you, the problem lies with the originators. What they do is they make a slight change in the basic structure of the molecule of the medicine. They find minor benefits over the previously available products, and they start selling it on exorbitant prices.
No, I know. I have been in those exercises because we have looked at pharmaceutical industry on many occasions, and I have sat in meetings where they would take an almost expired generic a product on the way to going public, and they would change the molecular structure and reinvent something out of the blue. And now with the daily dose concept that is established, everybody's saying that what's the point selling medicine unless you make it on a daily frequency basis, and they said the government is going to pay for it. It's a horror story. I mean, I think West has reached a critical point when it comes to the pharma industry, but also the generic. Is generic a very big market in Pakistan?
No. Here, usually people would not like to go for generics because we have a serious problem over here in Pakistan, because there are more than 500 pharmaceutical manufacturers in Pakistan. And unfortunately, there is no categorization of the pharmaceutical manufacturers. You will find a very small, with a small company with little resources. They would be manufacturing the same medicine which is being manufactured by a top-end manufacturer. So the cost of manufacturing is different. The systems which they have, the staff for the manufacturing of product they have would be entirely different. So the medicine may be complying the minimum criteria set by the government, but there would be more chances of something wrong in it. So I think the doctors over here are very conscious about this thing, and they would never like to prescribe the generics because the price difference between the patented brands like we are producing and the generic would not be much. So there is no reason for prescribing the generics over here. Mm-hmm. So that is the main difference.
What are the marketing branding challenges when you have 200 products? How do you, are you?
Well, what we do is we have divided our different products in different groups. So each group is responsible for the marketing and sales of their own group. They work as like they are a different entity to do the sales and marketing of their product. Sure. So it's not difficult for us at all, because we have different teams working with the same doctor they would be going on their own for the promotion of their own product. So it's not difficult.
So in terms of your marketing or business expansion, is it based upon population or the wind of the season when certain symptoms appear, or is it competitive market penetration, or how do you do that? Like, what is it?
In fact, the different things which you have mentioned, these are all our different products. We have seasonal products. We have sometimes what we call, there is some sort of you see different diseases of the seasons are there. So we have different groups of products which we
address those issues. Right. So how do you grow? Do you grow by the way population is growing? Is that a kind of a generic growth, or are you growing by acquisition of new products or creation of new products?
Pharmaceutical business is slightly different from the consumer goods, because if, for example, you are taking a medicine for hypertension, you will keep on taking that medicine for your entire life. For us to have the increase in our business, there are two options which we have. We have to find new customers who start taking our medicine, and we introduce new products so that our prescriber, who is a doctor, has options with him to generate more business for us. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. This is how we work.
And we are also looking, matter of fact, we're doing an event next week in Karachi, and there are a couple of hundred people are coming, and a lot of them are senior HR department people, and some of them are on the pharma. And the idea that how training of people across the board is a very common challenge for big Pakistani industry. In order to train them either for leadership or to give them micro-learning on certain issues, or to try to give them specific instructional issues that they have to carry out procedural-wise, and so on. Aktara is presenting a massive program in conjunction with Expathon to how to lay out this massive training program so you can simultaneously train 1,000, 5,000, 10,000 people to uplift the productivity, performance, profitability, etc. So we are having this discussion. Are there certain issues in training, or either in senior management or middle management or at the administration level, that are issues for the pharma industry?
I think people have the capability of doing wonders, but we need to have a clear-cut policy by the government. As I was telling you, I gave you the example of US, where $86 billion imports they are doing from different countries, and out of that, $40 billion generic medicines are being exported from India. They have given special incentives. They have taken it as a challenge. And India has become one of the largest exporter of generic medicines to US, Australia, and United Kingdom. You might be surprised that India is selling 26% of the total medicines being used in United Kingdom. So these are the things to be done by the government. If they facilitate the pharmaceutical manufacturers, we can also do the same things.
You mean you cannot produce generic for exports?
We can, but there are a lot of hurdles. You see, whenever you have to export medicine to some other country, like if we are talking about US, you have to comply certain regulations which are imposed by those countries. So our government can help us to compete the other countries who are exporting their medicine to those countries.
Are you saying that in India they have different procedures than Pakistan?
Yes. And like I would like to give you an example. You have been using the word patented medicines. So in Pakistan, there are stricter laws for patented medicines if you compare them with India. They are manufacturing many products which we cannot manufacture in Pakistan. Why? This is the legislation which we have done.
You're talking about the intellectual property rights.
Yes,
but intellectual property rights is something that should be respected.
Yes, this is what.
So, but how India can sell generic product? I mean, 40 billion, I mean, 20 billion, that's an extraordinary number. If Pakistan could export 5 billion in generic products, that would be a remarkable achievement.
I think we are exporting less than $500 million.
So, what is this stopping? And how many pharma players are there?
You see, if we compare our legislation with India, the intellectual property rights and the organization like WIPO, IPO, they regulate the intellectual property rights. What we do is we go beyond their expectations. We do more than what is expected from us to do. India would not do that. We do our legislation more than what is required by the intellectual property right.
Who controls all this?
This is Ministry of Industries.
Ministry of Health, Ministry of Commerce.
Yes.
We had Shandana Gulzar Khan, the parliamentary secretary to the Commerce, and she said that they are doing exceptional, bringing out all those various disciplines, including intellectual property, something that we understand well. But the point remains, if India has produced such a successful model, then what kind of brain power and intelligence does it require to change and modify our procedural issues so that Pakistan can do $5, $6, $10 billion?
We can do a lot, because if I look at the quality and standards of the medicines which are produced by India and I compare them with those which we are manufacturing, even the local manufacturers are manufacturing over here, I find our products much better than those which they are manufacturing.
We are also doing a debate on pharmaceuticals sometime next month and healthcare, and that would be a 12-hour marathon dedicated just to the pharma industry and that, because we're doing one on construction. These are pillars. These are pillars of the nation. But we are doing it more from the exportability point of view. We don't want people of Pakistan to get sick to create a more dynamic economy. We're saying, hey, this is, you produce well and produce it for the rest of the countries. And there are so many countries and so many markets and so many things. I would be very happy if you like to have a further discussion on that. And then if you think that this kind of a topic will have some value and some interest to the pharma and healthcare people.
Yes, definitely it is. I think we need to have a forum where the manufacturers sit together and they speak aloud what to do and what not to do. Because we have a lot of potential in our pharma industry. I can very safely say that the local manufacturers, local pharmaceutical industry in Pakistan is much better developed if you compare it with India.
Is there obviously, there must be a Pharmaceutical Manufacturers Association.
Yes, it is.
And I'm sure you must be a member of that.
Yes, we are.
So if we were to communicate, we could perhaps communicate with them. We'll be very happy to talk to the Ministry of Commerce, talk to about their intellectual property people, bring them together. We can tie a couple of Chamber of Commerces, we'll put them together, and we can do that.
Yes.
Does it make sense?
Maybe, yes, it
But
makes
then the
sense.
question is, who are we? We are just people who are having a discussion and having this. But is this not common sense? Are there not other people who would say, let's do that? If India is already doing so much, why don't we take a slice out of
We
it?
need to have will to do it, and we don't have. That's the
Okay,
problem.
that's easy. We can take care of the will part.
Let's hope so.
No, seriously. If you think it makes sense, if you could show us connect the dots for us, few things, we would take it 2 steps further. We move very fast. But we believe that the Pakistan can export $1 billion a day. And we have managed all our discussion in this debate and the previous debate. It's a challenge. It's an open challenge. Because mathematically we can prove it. It can be done. We have the people with the talent, with the resources, with the raw material, we've got everything. Let's do it. But what's stopping it? What's the problem? Somebody built this hotel and it's full.
It is.
Somebody made Bharia town and it's working. You know? So this is how it works.
If somebody has built this hotel, if somebody is in... Yes, what he has done is he has gained the confidence of the people. That's how things work.
I think that somebody made this chair and it becomes marketable because it's good quality. And look at TCS. They've got 10,000 employees and they are servicing the nation. Somebody came up with the idea and brought this here and so on. So this is how life works. Look at your own organization. You have 400 or 500 people working, making a couple of hundred products in 10, 20 groups and whatnot. This is how societies grow. This is how economy works. This is how you get the quality of life. Yes. The quality of life, what we talk about between West and East, it's because a lot more people are doing the good thing and with that intention. I would love to continue this, Doctor. I would love to have some other opportunities. We will stay in touch. I'll keep you in the loop as we go along.
It will be a pleasure for me also.
And also on that pharmaceutical thing, if you think we are on the right direction, please help us. We will be very happy.
Inshallah, everybody should do his part of the job. Then things can be done.
Sure. Thank you so much.
It was a pleasure to be here. Thank you very much.
Thank you.